Good morning and welcome to the Treehouse and happy 2025. This is the second part of a two-part reading that I started for yesterday, December 31st. And if you have not watched that video, I ask you to go back and watch that one before we do this one. I have pulled these three cards from 2024, and we're going to use those as our past cards going forward today. And we're going to be doing a 9-card reading here at the Treehouse for the energies of 2025. The second rank here will be where we are this morning, and then the third rank at the top will be what advice the cards have for us for 2025. By way of background, I just want to say that coming up on 2025 is the year of the Hermit, the number 9 card, because 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. And 9 is the end of a cycle. It's also, the Hermit is also the card of, he's the guy up on top of the mountain who has all the wisdom of all his long living. And so this is really about going inside and really considering what it is that we have learned up to this point. For some people, it will be a fallow year, which is to rest and recover. And that's kind of what the Hermit is about. We go up to see the Hermit. It's quiet up there. We talk to the Hermit. Maybe we are the Hermit, but it is a little less active sort of energy for this year. And so self-care is really part of what we need to be thinking about as we move into this year. 2024 was tumultuous in so many ways. And so in order for us to get through 2025, we need to be really grounded in our own sense of who we are and how we take care of ourselves. So these, again, as I say, are the cards for where we're at this morning. And these three will be the advice for going forward from this past. And this is the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to be careful not to turn it over. So take what resonates for you and leave the rest. This reading will not be for everybody, but it may have a grain of wisdom for you somewhere. So thank you for joining me here at the Treehouse. If I have not already said that, I'm really excited to have this sort of random two-part reading for all of us. So let's look at the past here. And at the end of our reading, we talked about how last year was successful in some kind of an expansion. So the Empress is the birther of, the mother of children and empires. And so we grew something last year. We also found that there was some kind of deception last year, some kind of lying, whether it was us lying to ourselves or we discovered that somebody was lying or prevaricating to us in some way that we realized we did not want to take part in anymore. And we also recognized that we needed help. We needed to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and we needed to do something to take care of ourselves. We had exhausted our resources. So that's kind of where we are starting from yesterday. So let's look at what we have for today. And the Knight of Swords is rushing headlong in with truth and clarity. And that is an apt energy for the first of the year. We've made all those New Year's resolutions, and we're going to go get them, and we do all that stuff. And I think this is really a caution card. This is the year of the Hermit, right? We need to calm down just a little bit. Okay, you can't fix everything on the 1st of January. You really have to ease your way into this year. And I think that's one of the big messages here. The Lovers is also known as the choices. And so when we look at the Lovers card, it is really a mature choice about what it is that we want and what it is that we need. Whether we're talking about choosing a life partner, choosing a career, choosing just a way to be, it's choosing a way to be with our higher selves, but it is a very grown-up way of looking at what it is that we want to do. What are the choices that we need to make, which is a little bit of antithesis for the Knight of Swords, who just wants to run in with his sword and and just whip away with his sword of clarity and truth. But there is some truth to that, right? We do want to keep moving, but we also want to move ahead with that truth and clarity and make good adult choices that aren't going to burn us in the butt. And a lot of that has to do with taking care of ourselves, because we learned that one last year. And the King of Swords, which is the most mature energy of making decisions these go well together. So the King of Swords is able to see both sides of any question. His clarity and his recognition of the truth leaves him in a place to make decisions that are good for all, remembering that kings are in charge of their kingdoms, of the people and of the resources, and has the capacity to make good decisions that are going to bring goodness, wealth, and prosperity to the things for whom he is responsible, people to whom he is responsible. So we've got some really mature energy for making the choices and the wisdom to make the good choices. And let's look at this as the energy to move forward, but just to be a little bit cautious about not moving ahead too fast as we kind of move into this. We can kind of ease our way into 2025, perhaps. So let's look at the advice for this next year. The Judgment card is one of two cards that has sound to it. And you can see that Gabriel's horns got these little marks down here that is a sound that brings these dead people to life. The Judgment card is about making a decision based on what we have learned, which is great for 2025. So think about, what did we learn last year about ourselves? What did we learn about deceit? What did we learn about expansion? What did we learn about our resources? And put that into play in 2025. So this is the other card of noise. There's only two cards of noise in the deck. He's got a bell around his neck. Lepers in the ages past would wear a bell to say, look out, here I'm coming, which is an interesting way to think about taking care of ourselves last year, right? This is the collapse where we just have used all the resources we possibly have and we're not well. So that's the little bell of warning. And this is the big horn of, hello, what did you learn last year? And that is the perfect card for this reading. The Four of Swords is about rest. It's about recovery. It's about healing. It's about going into that cool church. It's actually the inside of this same church. Look at these two stained glass windows. It's about going in and really making rest a priority for us to move ahead. So if we think about going to see the hermit, it's probably cold up there on the mountain and in the cave, right? Just as it's cool here in the church. And also what's interesting in here is that the three swords that we see in the heartbreak card are lined up. We understand what those are about. And if they fall off the wall, they're going to kill us, right? We don't want that to happen. And so they're up there. This is a cool space. And so it's just a reminder of the heartbreak that we really don't want to revisit. Okay? And last of all, our advice is to build something. We've got this going from last year. We need to expand the foundation that we put in place last year. And we need to consult other people. Remember that we needed help from others here in order to not fall into despair or feeling sorry for ourselves. And those cards are very much connected with our resources. So what is it that we learned? Right, that's the first big piece of advice. What we learned is that we have the capacity to make mature choices, to make good connections with ourselves and with others, to be able to see both sides of a question and make a really good, solid decision for our resources and our people, and to move ahead, hopefully not as fast as this guy is moving. But this is about the foundation that we want for 2025. This is about the learning that we want to bring into fruition here in 2025, and about recognizing the need for rest and recovery. That's a pretty good reading. 2025 looks like it will be a very successful year if we can follow the wisdom of the hermit, which we have learned in the year of 2024. So our last card is the bottom of the deck. And that is a very fortuitous card. That is the Ten of Pentacles. We have to remember that pentacles are the resources that we have. It's not just money. It is our will. It is our inspiration. It is our home. It is our people, our friends. It is the ability to do what we want to do, to go where we want to go. It is all the resources that we have in this life. And so as we think about what we want in 2025, what we want to work for in 2025, it is the care and nurture of our physical resources, our body, our friends, our spirituality, our mental capacities, everything. So I think that that is an apt message, as I said before, really a nice bow on this reading for 2025. So if this was helpful, and I hope that it was, please like, share, and subscribe. And I invite you to come back and join me for my shorts. They'll be going up every day. And I never know what they're going to say, but I find that they are oftentimes applicable to the day in which I post them for some reason. So from the Treehouse, I'm wishing you a very happy and prosperous, resourceful, and restful 2025. Blessings.